Spinny Dean. How are ya? This is my daily vlog. I'm New Zealand's only daily vlogger, and this is my beard. I've got it for 183 days based on how many people died in the Christchurch earthquakes. So I'll have a link down below, and you can donate if you wish to. So today was a bit of a waste of a day, just because it was raining and miserable outside, so I just stayed inside and watched a lot of YouTube videos, which is a typical pastime of mine, and which was all fine with me because I was catching up on a lot of ones that I'd saved and hadn't seen for a bit. And I went through a whole lot, and I commented on some that I hadn't commented on for a wee while as well. And it was, I could go into this video not knowing what I'm going to say, but I was thinking, well, the fact that I've been watching so many different types and just listening to different people's opinions and views on things, and this is maybe talking about KawaiiGardner, one of the guys in New Zealand, a YouTuber based in Wellington, I believe, and he does these huge long videos. You've got to really be into what he's talking about to watch the whole thing, and I enjoyed listening to him. He talks about pretty coherently about ideas, a lot of it around Islamic law, Islamic faith and so forth, and the Middle East, but he also talks a lot about American politics as well, which I like, so I get along, well, I appreciate what he says a lot of the times. Yeah, he did a video response back to me, so this is kind of a video response back to him. It wasn't meant to be, but now it is. It was just more the fact that he's got these opinions, and I appreciate his opinions, just because he puts coherent ideas behind them, and he does search out the facts that goes with them. And I don't know how he sees this, but I think that we kind of think along the same wavelength in a lot of our ideas. I'm not saying for everything. However, it's just amazing. You may think the same way. You come about it from a different angle, and thus you come not necessarily a different conclusion, just a different way of seeing it. However, you do understand each other's whereabouts. For instance, just as one example, he's just within New Zealand politics, he follows the X party. However, that's somewhere where actually in my political spectrum I started at that end, and I've worked my way all the way down to the other end with the Green Party now, is probably where I'm more favourable to. However, we have kind of had a quick discussion about how even though you've got the ACT Party that is meant to be a far right in New Zealand, and the Green, which is a far left, there's still the continuum in New Zealand doesn't really work like that, like other politics around the world. We still have this, a lot of it interconnects. I don't know where I'm going with this, to be honest, but so we see the same things, we come to the same, we see the same things, we have rational thought. I think he does. I'm not exactly sure if he thinks this, and this is me. You can't. I think I have rational opinions on my things, but we come to a different conclusion. For instance, I'm not necessarily a conspiracy theorist. However, I look at the things and I look for the facts, and when I see those facts, some people might label me that, but I see the facts. And I get an example that he brought up in his video was, and I commented on this, was if rich people come together, it's seen as a conspiracy. Well, he then brought up saying, rich people come together to become rich, and because they are greedy and rich, and it's an endless cycle. Power and money makes more power and money, and so forth. And that's just how it is. You see that. Everyone sees that. And for instance, I mentioned about the Bilderberg group, and rich and famous or rich and powerful people come together, and yet it's not within the media itself. So because it's not in the media and people are speculating of what it's all about, it's then classed as conspiracy. But it's only a conspiracy because it's viewed that way. But however, we do know if these rich and powerful people are coming together, and the typical outcome normally is they are using their wealth and their power to influence, then how is that a conspiracy? it's a conspiracy because we look at it from that angle. He looks at it from an angle was like, well, they're rich and powerful, so that's what they do. And I'm like, well, yes, they're rich and powerful, and that's what they do. Yet, why is it not being seen or talked about? So we're coming from, we understand the outcome, yet we see it in different viewpoints. He's just saying, well, they're not doing that. They're not this group that are taking over the world. But the thing is, because they are the rich and powerful, they might not be taking over the world, but they are influencing the world. So, is that a conspiracy? Or is that just the facts? I think it's just the facts. So why, this is just a question to you then, if you watch this, is why do you label it a conspiracy when they are facts that you see? I know you didn't talk about this itself, but I'm just putting the Bilderberg group as an example. You know, why is that not a conspiracy, or why is it a conspiracy when you can see the facts there and you acknowledge those facts that rich and powerful people provide or do influence the world? I don't know if you know much about that, but you know, it's, yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to watch a movie, get out of the house. So, yep, remember Building 7. See ya. Spinny, spin, 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 Freddy.